welcome to Unscripted Gaming. My name is Mike. I am joined by our co-hosts,
Josh.
Ray and Josh. How are you guys?
We're really good. How are you?
We're great. Apparently, we're here. We're doing a episode after it's been a minute, but we're here.
We definitely didn't try and start this episode 18 different times.
It was at least 8.
You know, we're professionals, and even after a little bit of a hiatus,
still got it.
We still contain the same level of professionalism from day one.
Nothing but professionals around.
Still have it.
Ray is currently using his phone to illuminate his face.
I got a weird lighting situation going on in my study.
And his complexion does not help the weird lighting situation, so he is working in a effort to, how you say, let us see his face.
Illuminate the situation. There you go. That one's for free.
Yeah.
So guys, like exclusively today, I want to talk about MoviePass.
That sounds like a video game.
So,
tell us about. Sing us the tale of MoviePass.
I want to thank Mike because what was it? Last year, back in I want to say August. Yeah, it was August 2017. So yeah, a year ago, me and Mike recorded an episode of Creed Got Robbed, which I'll have to re-upload to our new channel. I'll have to re-upload all of them, which I can do now. It's going to be great. Which are still available in the podcast. You could still listen to them in the podcast. They're perfectly there. Mike said, yeah, you should totally sign up for MoviePass because for $10 a month, you can see as many movies as you want. And I said on the podcast, this is a dumb business model. I can't believe they're doing this. Oh my God, let me go to this website. You're making it up. Oh dear Lord, this is the real deal. Let me sign up right now before they go under.
I think we both specifically said we need to get in while the getting's good.
Yes, those were the exact words.
Being something we specifically had discussed and proceeded to do.
Yes.
As did many other Americans. Yep. And when your business model is, we're going to sell you a $10 bill for $8, it's hard to make money.
Literally, someone living in SF at the time, all I had to do was see one movie, and I made back my $10. Let alone my normal pattern of seeing 2 a month and just robbing MoviePass blind. I can't. According to the MoviePass Reddit, there are people that go see a movie in a theater every single day. I can't imagine what they did.
Had the time to do that. That would be nice.
That's like an extra 3 hours out of your day, depending on the movie.
Yeah, I know. Again, I wish I just had the time to do this. But
are there even that many movies? You'd have to see the same movie multiple times, right? There aren't that many movie releases.
So people were asking him on the Reddit thread, our MoviePass, in case people are interested, which is the best place to go if you love Schadenfreude, because, once we'll get into that. He was talking about how MoviePass works in a lot of theaters, so he saw a lot of indie movies, and there's no shortage of indie movies coming out.
That makes sense. I can see that. There is a, now that I think about it, there's a small indie theater even where I'm at here that is MoviePass eligible. So, and they have a pretty good rotation. So that checks out. So that's not only is that a lot of time, but that's a lot of money that he's milking out of that $10 subscription.
Okay, so I imagine a movie auteur person that is retired. And they just love watching movies like Netflix or Hulu and whatnot. And then they saw MoviePass and they shrugged and said, well, you guys messed up.
That person said, I'm going to make up for every single person who subscribes and forgets to see a movie every month. I'm gonna take every single one of their tickets.
I don't know how much we want to talk about this, but that's kind of the problem is that a gym membership is predicated on the people paying for it and not using it, because the gym membership is usually expensive, and there isn't a lot of the gym isn't losing $10 every time somebody walks into a gym.
Right.
It's like the only way the company can make money is for people to not use the service. And they basically found that out and just realized that they essentially, their problem was that they had the data they thought they could harvest from us, from MoviePass customers, and sell to movies or theaters and stuff, was not as valuable as they thought it was, because your data gets scraped from everything already, so it means nothing anyway. So.
Yeah, and here's what I kind of think happened too. MoviePass was around before this $10 subscription. It had been around for quite some time on
2012, I think.
Yeah, 2012, on a $30 a month on a model. So the user base was a lot lower. So I think they probably were growing their user base relatively slowly, got some money, were selling the data of the users that they did have, and said, look, we've got this really valuable data. We've got some funding. What we really need to do is grow our user base. What can we do to do that? And they said, what if we did the price of one movie ticket per month? If we cut our subscription down from $30 to $10, can we grow this user base, spend this money that we have, and then get infinitely more users that we can sell, at an exponential rate to make all that money back? And I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say their math was bad.
Your business model is in the red the moment your customer uses the service once, and it's a monthly unlimited service, so there's nothing about their business model that made financial sense in the short term or long term or any term.
They're selling $10 bills for $8, and and the plan was if we sell enough $10 bills for $8, people will want to know why the people pay $8 for a $10 bill. They'll know where else they shop, and that isn't really that valuable when you think about it. And so basically, over the past couple months, they've had to just make the service worse in basically every conceivable way, limits on show times, because it never covered IMAX or 3D showings, but they started graying out premiere times. So on a Friday night or something, the only MoviePass showing that would be available would be 4:00 and 10:30 or something for a Marvel movie or something else popular. So I was okay, well, that's kind of shitty. And then eventually, so it's just in an effort to not stop hemorrhaging money, they just also had to make the service shittier over time.
Can we talk about that? How the service declined over time?
Well, I was going to say the first decline, because the original model was $10 unlimited movies all the time. That meant if you wanted to go see multiple movies in a day, by gummit, you're going to go see multiple movies in a day. They did eventually change to say, okay, you're limited to one ticket per day. And that was pretty soon after the service. That was pretty soon after the service launch. They said, okay, we're going to make a switch, and we're going to say, you don't get 30 movies a day, you get one a day.
Okay, and the next step was they said, no repeats ever. You went and saw Black Panther, you're cut off, B. That account can never see Black Panther with MoviePass again.
Which is a hate crime.
Mm-hmm. I think we can all agree
I'm pretty
with that.
sure
I think that is a reasonable position to take.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Glad we figured that out.
Wait, just real quick, time out before we move on. Am I filing the suit, or what state is Marvel Studios in? We should probably get somebody to move there and just file the suit.
They film
there.
mostly in Georgia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll work
We'll
workshop
discuss.
it.
We'll get that. We'll get who's
workshop
filing
that.
the suit.
Are you still pretending to be a
I know
lawyer?
someone who will do it
Always.
pro bono, so it'll be fine.
I'm basically a
the-
lawyer, so.
What was the next thing they limited? It involved the number 4, like, what was it? Something about 4. Like you can only see something 4 times a month.
Like, essentially, the problem was that like the value proposition early on was unsustainable because it was too good, and the only way to stop hemorrhaging money when the venture capitalists were like, "Oh wait, maybe this sucks," was to make it like worse. Like if they had started at hey, 1 movie a day. It's kind of more for indie things. Also, it's $15 instead of $10. Like, if they had thought more carefully about trying to set those things initially, like, it may have been more successful. But like, making these changes to save money, to extend, to like make the service viable, they've also just been making it, altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further. For months, and that it doesn't feel like, as a consumer, that's just like a bummer thing. Like, you don't pay a WoW subscription and then Blizzard doesn't start like just taking away raids just because just for fun. Like, that's just not how that works. So, and it's not something that makes you want to stick around, is when something is actively being made worse. When like the value, when you're getting tangibly immediately worse than it was.
Yeah, when you start adding Uber surge pricing.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Times.
Before you get the surge pricing, before you get to it, because that's like the linchpin. That's the death nail. They briefly limited it to 4 movies a month. And I'm going to be honest, I thought that was fair when they did that. It's a complete denial of the service that most people signed up for, but I thought 4 movies a month was fair for the price.
I mean, still, for 4 movies for $10, if you're actually going to see 4 movies...
I think that's really fair.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it's like, I as someone who goes to the movies a lot, like, that would probably be okay, but there are some months where that would would be kind of a bummer, like especially in like December and January when it's like award movie season and there's lots of really good stuff to see and you want to see it all before the Oscars come out. Like, that would be a real downer for me. I would not enjoy that. But again, I get it. Surge pricing.
Okay, so for me, this was the death nail. This is what caused me to unsubscribe, because I mean, I think all 3 of us in some way, shape, or form are familiar with how corporations work. And when you just read surge pricing, which says, yeah, we will determine what popular movie at what time, and then we'll just charge you extra because that movie is popular at a popular time. I'm like, I'm out. Nope, I'm gone.
And you see, it wasn't just like an extra $2 for a opening weekend in Avengers. It was like, yo, you're going to see the Mr. Rogers documentary at 5 o'clock on Tuesday? Bitch, that's surge pricing!
And it's like $6 on top.
Yeah, it's like, just pay for the actual ticket. But also, I think, just for me, I was getting really frustrated because our closest theater is an AMC. And because AMC did not agree to be a e-ticket supporter, so I can't reserve ahead, but our theater has reserved seating, so you have to show up super early, or else you get stuck with a bum seat, which is not fun. So it was just all those things, just again with all the added caveats, was just ugh.
So okay, so I have a couple questions about why we think this happened. Obviously, they changed. They did some poor math, thinking if we grow our user base, we will get to sell X amount of data for more money, and yada yada. It'll make up the differences. Do you also think? Because and maybe I'm making this up, but I feel like except for the major blockbusters, there is this attitude that people just don't go to the movies as much as they used to. People don't like going to movies. You only go for the Marvels and Star Wars and whatnot. But, like, do you think they anticipated to get people to sign up for this service that go see movies? They would use it once, maybe twice in a month, but it actually, like, it wouldn't lead to a drastic change in people's movie-going behavior that probably saw them hemorrhaging a lot more money than they anticipated. Like, they probably projected, X number of tickets per subscriber, over the average of their entire user base, but did not anticipate, hey, if you actually give people the ability to go to the movies at a reasonable price, they're going to use it because people actually like going to the movies.
I think to kind of answer, I think I can answer your question pretty well here, because we went to the movies a lot before MoviePass, just because that's what we like, Sarah and I like to do. And I think one of the things MoviePass, I think, tried to do was, they would do email blasts for, like, hey, go see this X movie or Y, and they were generally like smaller pictures, which it makes sense, because like you if you're MoviePass, the one thing you need to be able to demonstrate is that you can. MoviePass subscribers are good for all movies, especially little guys who, because going to a movie, especially if you're a family, like, is really expensive. So that's why a lot of, like, big ticket things, generally are that's why they're so big. It's just because, like, the middle tier movie has kind of fallen out of the bottom almost in a lot of ways, just because your home like TV is so good now. It kind of feels like you're not missing much, not seeing. Like, I really enjoyed The Shape of Water. I think it was a great film to see in theaters, but, like, for a lot of people, it's not a must-see in blockbuster like Avengers. But so I think ultimately, the problem is, like, that audience that MoviePass is trying to get to, like, engage with these smaller movies to show, like, give them a real big bump and kind of give them clout. Those people were probably already seeing those movies anyway, and so they would have already been paying for those tickets. So that, because if you got a MoviePass, like, you were a pretty serious moviegoer to begin with, and I think in most cases. So I don't think it moved the needle enough in a way as like a indie film kind of subscription thing. Like, it just didn't have enough clout in that field, just because I think so many people would have already made the choice to go see that movie in theaters anyway.
So I forget where I read this. It was either Business Insider or Fortune, but it was something like MoviePass was relying on, because apparently only 17% of adult Americans see even one movie a month in the United States. An adult being, like, over the age of 25. And MoviePass subscribers accounted for, like, a grand total of, like, if you take the 17% that are moviegoers, 12% of those bought MoviePass. So they only attacked the market, and they tried to expand out to, like, get more people, but they were only hitting the market that was already going to, like, pay money to see the movies anyways. Mm-hmm. So the grand plan for MoviePass was to get this hyper market of, like, 30% of the 25 and up audience of moviegoers, and then, walk into a theater, unzip, throw it on the table, and say to, like, theaters in Hollywood, like, this is how many people we have using our service. You cut us a nice deal on the tickets buyback program, ticket buyback, so we don't have to pay for the full ticket price, or you guys make your money back in concessions, and we'll become a profitable business. But AMC, Regal, Cinemark, Hollywood at large, all they said was, we're just going to wait you out, because you'll run out of money.
Well, and they started their own competing services. In my area, the Cinemark is one of the larger theaters where I'm located, and they came out with their own movie club. and it's similar but different than MoviePass. So it is $8.99 a month. For $8.99 a month, you get one ticket per month that rolls over if you don't use it. You also get the ability to buy any extra number of tickets at $8.99 while also waiving any online fees. So let's say, me and the wife want to go out. I can use my credit and then buy one additional ticket at $8.99. That's a pretty big savings already off of the price of a normal matinee ticket. But then you also get 20% off on the concession stands while you're there. So, I mean, you're already saving on the ticket, and then you get to save on concessions. Like, what's not to like about that?
I mean, so I just hate theater price concessions as is.
Well, I don't believe in seeing a movie without popcorn and a soda. So,
I mean, that's your God's honest belief, and I'm not here to stop you.
So
God's plan.
So for me to get 20% off of that and to save like $2-3 on the ticket, I'm coming out ahead.
I mean, like, what do you expect him to eat at the theater? Like a can of beans or something? Like, what are you?
Are you crazy,
Ray? What are you?
We've gone
about?
there. We've fully gone to the beans.
And that will be it. We'll talk no more of this.
All right. Last thing. Well, very last thing. I will give MoviePass this credit. I do go see movies a lot more now, even though I don't use MoviePass. Except I go to the Alamo Drafthouse and I discovered that it's amazing.
So the question I'm asking and thinking about is
Josh, you don't want to tell your stock story? Your MoviePass?
Yeah, I'll tell that story in a second.
Yeah. Sorry to bother you, by the way.
I did make almost $7 off of MoviePass's misery here in a few minutes, and I'll tell you about that. Do you think that the theaters that have their movie clubs, once MoviePass does eventually go bankrupt and fold, will they keep those around? Do you think those have been successful enough programs for them to keep doing that, or will they kind of say, just kind of quietly, like, we're done with that program. That was nice.
I give it a full year.
Okay.
I give it the full year subscription that people signed up for, and they just cut it off because there's no more threat. You know what I mean? MoviePass was a threat to them. The threat is gonna die, and then there's no more reason to have this competing thing that costs them money.
I mean, again, it's like we'll have to see how it plays out over time. But we signed up for the AMC plan, which is pretty solid. We like it just because there's no separate card. It's really convenient. Like it's really well built. And it's kind of just like an Amazon Prime kind of additional subscription thing. Again, that's what I think it'll be around. It's like $20 instead of $10 for 3 movies a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Plus, it's like you can have. I forget how it works. You can see 3 movies a week, but I think you can only have 3 reservations at a time. But it's kind of nice because like even when we had MoviePass, we would still buy like Marvel movies separately so we could like go see them on opening night or whatever. And now we don't have to do that with the AMC plan because we can reserve we can reserve we reserved our the Ant-Man tickets as soon as they went on sale because we could just do that right in the app. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, again, like you guys said, we'll see. About a year out from now, who knows?
Anyway, so my profit making on MoviePass, I'm
so proud of you, by the way.
There is a holding company that owns the MoviePass, Helios and Matheson or some shit like that. And, obviously during this whole saga where they're running out of money and the service is briefly interrupted because they literally ran out of cash. And they had to go get some emergency loans. Their stock plummeted. So, me being the wonderfully savvy investor that I am, decided to buy a single share of the company at 20 cents because, fucking why not? If it tanked, I was out 20 cents. If they
you just reminded me of some bleeps I'm going to have to add to this.
If they somehow turned it around, great. I am rich. So they did a reverse stock split and basically reset the stock price to shareholders to $12, which, hey, for your boy here, that's a profit. Buy at 20 cents, sell at 12, great. I didn't get $12 out of that share.
Because you waited too long. We warned you. Me and Mike had your back. We told you, sell.
I waited a few minutes from market opening, and then I scheduled the trade to happen. In the time that I scheduled the trade to happen, the shares lost over half their value.
I will.
You know what the best part about, like, go ahead.
I still made $6, but I lost $6. The share price tumbled so rapidly, and I think now it's already back down to like 20 cents. So I might just buy another one just to see what the heck happens.
It's like when the Soviet economy was crashing, and like people would get paid from work and would have to like sprint to like the store because inflation was so like out of control.
Basically, you had to spend your wages every day because the next day your money would be worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, just the best thing about MoviePass is that you get to remember that a bunch of weird venture capitalists just lost a bunch of money. So, yeah.
Yep, a bunch of really rich people got a little less rich.
I was there.
Sounds great.
Telling Josh, it's not gonna get any higher. You need to sell right now. He said, and I quote, "Nah, they're gonna turn this around."
Hey, you know, the last time I heard about a company suspending service for 20 minutes because they literally ran out of cash and had to go seek emergency loans, you know, I only heard great things after that.
You know, when Uncle Bill's food truck had to do that the other day, you know, we understood. Like, he had to go and, like, steal another pig from somewhere. And like, you know, we get it. Like, we understand that. But, like, you know, when a big fancy company like MoviePass does it, it's like, whoa, everybody freaks out. Like,
I'm going to buy 1 share of Helios Mathis stock. Buy 1 share of MoviePass stock. I'm going to let it ride. If I'm out 25 cents, then I'm out 25 cents.
It might be the best. It might be the best investment you've ever made.
If this bounces back and I can pay off my student loans, I will come back on the podcast and say, I don't know what happened.
Well, that's okay. If tomorrow, like, if tomorrow, like, Amazon buys it, then, like, you'll just have to deal with, like, you know, capital gains tax, so you'll be fine.
Amazon buys it, I become rich beyond words, and then, yeah, the IRS knocks on my door like, you owe us money? Alright. We've covered the saga of MoviePass. You guys don't have it still, do you?
I haven't gotten rid of my card, but I've canceled.
I've canceled. I got my card right here. I'm gonna keep it. Like,
the
expiration date is 2024.
Can I go to the family? If I go to the family video and cut my card up and put it in the bowl, will I get a free rental?
If you what?
Because, like, the family video at our in my old town, if you, like, cut up your Blockbuster membership card, they would give you a free rental. I wonder if I can do that with, like, my MoviePass card.
You just cut it up, you throw it in there like I'm committed to the cause.
Yes. I'll go and buy a pizza next door, I promise.
This thing had a good 6 more years on it. You're lucky I'm coming here. Alright. Let's talk
about video games.
We could go to video games. I don't know. I thought MoviePass was just hyper interesting to just watch it go up and then down so fast. Alright, what games are we playing?
The brightest stars, you know, don't always burn the longest.
Is that how that goes?
No, I don't know. I forget. The
important thing is a laugh.
The important thing is, let's talk about games.
Let's talk about games. What games are... All right, Mike, what games are you playing?
I've actually been jumping around from a lot of different stuff here. Monster Hunter might be good. I haven't played a
You're still
lot.
playing
Like,
that?
I haven't played a lot this month, honestly, just because I've been distracted. I think I'm just kind of in the midst of like the summer dog days of jumping around to a lot of different stuff. So I haven't played too much of it, but I need to go back more to it because I've enjoyed. I've got about like 10 hours in it so far, but I've liked it. Video game fun is too fucking small. It makes you really annoyed.
Yeah.
Brief sidebar. What else did I play? I played a really cool mobile game called Florence. It's on iPhone. I believe it's probably also on Android. It's by Annapurna Games, and it was just a really cool. It was a cool, like, kind of story-based game about like a young woman and her like a relationship she gets into, and it was. I think it like made a great use of like the phone as a platform, and it was just a really cool, like, short little contained adventure that I think was told really well. So I thought that was really cool, and there's definitely a different pace from other stuff that was worth checking out. I've been playing my usual Destiny. There's been some cool new stuff in it, like a secret hidden crazy weapon quest and other things, and some stuff kind of gearing up to the fall update, so that's still going all right. Then I guess just one other couple of quick things. I recently went to a barcade that we have in the local area, and actually played.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called Tappers. It's really cool.
Oh,
if you
wait, is it seriously called Tappers?
It is called Tappers.
Dude, that's badass.
And they have Dig Dug, which is the greatest arcade game. Okay, we're not gonna fight about this here. That's a different.
It's Virtual On. It's Virtual On.
We're not gonna.
Just sits in the chair, just controlling the mech.
No. Oh wait, actually, is it that like one that's like the crazy? There's some arcade game where it's like a neon colored like thing where you're like in the mechs and like fighting. I can't remember which one.
It's Virtual On.
Oh, okay, that one is pretty cool. Shit.
That is the best arcade game.
Damn. Anyways, there was a really cool game. Like, it was a new arcade game, but it had like a really cool classic aesthetic called Rashlander. And it was like it was like imagine like a physics-based, like imagine like asteroid, but with like a kind of gravitational physics to it, and it had like this weird kind of grungy, like asteroid, but like with a weird kind of grungy and weird aesthetic and like upgrades and stuff. It was really cool, and just had really good music and really cool visuals. It was really neat. And then I think kind of I've been hitting a lot of quick things here. Like I said, I've been jumping around a lot. Rocket League is still good. Yeah. And Dragon Ball FighterZ is still the game of the year.
Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! Evo's coming up here soon.
Oh, and it has Dragon Ball FighterZ has the most entrants of any game, even beating Street Fighter.
That is
that
is for real that it dethroned Street Fighter. I seriously can't say that enough.
Like the dedication to like the craftsmanship in that game is just so cool. The fights are just so fun. If the animations are so badass, the music just freaking rips.
The DLC has yet to disappoint.
The DLC is amazing. Broly Super Armor is the best thing that ever happened in that game.
I don't want to talk about Broly. I have nothing good to say about it.
But yeah, it's so cool that 2018's Game of the Year came out in like January. Very cool. And speaking of Game of the Year, I checked in with Sarah. Her Game of the Year is actually still Super Mario Odyssey, because I guess she has a rule that it remains the Game of the Year until a game surpasses it. and no game will surpass Super Mario Odyssey. Therefore, it's still a game of the year. So, just floating that update for folks. Just be advised. But yeah, Dragon Ball is real good, and that's kind of what I've been playing. So sorry to word vomit on all that, but that's what I've been playing right now.
I don't disagree that Super Mario Odyssey, and the best way I described it was, it is just a magical game. No game should make me smile and have tears of joy as much as that game has. There's one section in that game that actually made me have tears of joy. And you all know what section that is. I don't even need to say it. That's how good that section is. Alright, Josh. What are you playing?
I haven't been playing a ton. Been a busy couple of weeks for me here. Traveling, getting a dog. So my game time has been lower than usual. I did finally begin A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS on my travels. So played that on the plane. Not super far into it, but enjoying the art, enjoying the story so far, and it's really neat to visit the Link to the Past world and remember so much about that, because it's pretty, at least so far, the map and whatnot are very identical, so it's been pretty cool to see that. I'm very much looking forward to digging into that a little more, and started playing A Night in the Woods about a week or so ago, and I think that came out last year. It's a little indie game. You play as a cat who is coming home from college. She has dropped out and is returning to her little poor small town somewhere in rural America, and kind of seeing the changes that have happened and the hardship that the town has undergone even in the last few years for her being away at school. And I am enjoying the story so far. I'm enjoying the characters. I was very taken aback by the the little like Guitar Hero style mini game that takes place, because your character used to be in a band when she was in high school and plays bass, and we're like, oh my god, you gotta come play bass with us. So it's definitely tackling some real serious issues of rural America and the economic problems that places have with big corporations and lack of opportunity and lack of upward mobility. So especially if you come from a small town or an area of America that is very similar to that, I would highly recommend this game, just because you're gonna feel some kind of way about it, just thinking about how I've somebody who grew up in a small town with those kinds of issues, a lot of stuff that's like, yeah, I made it out, but I know a lot of people who didn't. I know a lot of people who are stuck, who dropped out of school, who are struggling to make ends meet because they're still working at a convenience store or a Walmart, and that's all they got, and that's
It's a really cool testament to, because I've heard a lot of people talk about that game too. It's really cool to hear a lot of people when a game, obviously the art style is very cute and is very cool. And is not photorealistic,
yes,
in any sense, but just to hit a lot of I think a lot of people have said that the themes are very familiar to them, and so it's cool to hear that you're having that kind of similar experience, and that it says that it's really cool to hear that game did such a good job kind of capturing that for you.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to really seeing where that story goes, and the other themes that they touch on, because there's a lot of places and where they could go with that. So I'm pretty pumped to keep digging into that. Ray, what about you?
So been playing a lot of Dragon Ball Fighter Z, because that game it just kicks too much ass as a Dragon Ball Z fan.
I hear it slaps.
Yeah, it slaps hard.
It's quite possibly, and I say this with zero reservation, so it's not quite possibly, it is the best Dragon Ball video game ever released. This sets the bar so damn high. I don't know what other game could come out that would top it. Like every other Dragon Ball related product that ever came out before then has not captured the feel, the move, the mood, the artist registration, like just capturing the style of Akira Toriyama, getting the actual true voice actors from the sub and dubbed versions of the anime. Just testament. Let's not even talk about the mechanics of the fighting because it's just great. If a character's blocking too much, there's a counter for that. If a character's in the air too much, there's a counter for that. You got someone throwing out too many spam moves, you got a counter for that.
Hey, I feel attacked.
What, do you spam move a lot?
Broly quarter circle Y.
You
know the one.
Yeah. See, so I have such a problem with Broly that whenever me and Mike fight, all he needs to do is throw Broly in, and it just messes up my entire rhythm. Because I never account for the super armor. I'm not programmed in my brain to account for the super armor. And so Broly's just like, oh, you hit me with a super attack? That's cool. See, I'm still coming at you, and I got a combo already pre-input. So I've been playing lots of that. Been playing a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh.
I feel dumb when I play that game. If you want to realize you don't know anything about tactical first-person shooters, go play Rainbow Six Siege on Ranked, and then realize how dumb you are at video games. Those guys are serious, is what I'm trying to say. Those guys, that is a great esport to watch. Also, fully support watching that as an esport. I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite, and not as good as PUBG. I get why it's one of the most popular games in the world, but I'm not feeling it. I don't get it. What are you?
No, I'm flossing in my chair. If you couldn't tell.
Stop.
What the hell is that?
Do that.
Oh my gosh.
It's the damn move. Yeah, I have not played it. I've only played like a couple of rounds here and there. I think all the seasonal story. I'm still impressed by like their rapid fire like ability to patch and do like storytelling with that game, or like and roll out seasons and new things and stuff. It's pretty cool how like just how active they are with patching and updating and just tweaking the game. Like it's really cool to see that.
I mean, I don't have any complaints about like the live ops version of the game because their support. Epic Games has supported this game phenomenally. Obviously, they had to kill Save Fortnite, Save the World. That mode of the game is pretty much dead, but as it should be because the Battle Royale mode is just superior in every way. But I have a love-hate relationship with Fortnite. I love the character dynamics. I love the aesthetics. I love the team-based camaraderie in that game. I love the modes, like the 50 on 50 mode is just great. That is the only mode I will play in the game anymore. I find it the most fun because it's literally 50 on 50.
That's pretty cool.
What I don't like is the wall. I don't like one of the core mechanics. I hate the building in the game because there's nothing more. The shooting in that game is bad. I will never defend the shooting in Fortnite.
It's not good.
I thought the shooting in PUBG, it's good. It just takes a long time to get used to because it's semi-realistic. The shooting in Fortnite is just awful. It just feels bad. It doesn't have the punch. It doesn't have the give. It doesn't cause any stagger. Or if it does cause stagger, I don't notice it.
Yeah, I always felt like it was hard to like dial in the aim too. Like especially compared to like Counter-Strike or Destiny or PUBG. Like it felt like when I was aiming at something that I still like just might not hit. I don't know if it's. I think it's just something I just have to get used to with it. But that always felt like it always felt floaty in a weird way to me.
Yeah. No, I agree with you because I can never line up shots like correctly. Okay, so one of the most frustrating things, I got a bead on a target, and I'm using the assault rifle or any other long-range weapon. I hit him once. By the time the second round is in the air, bam! There's a wall right there in between me and my target. Because every character has a superpower to where, like, if you get a beat on them, boom, there's a hotel, there's Wi-Fi, there's a restaurant over to the next side.
You want the 4-star or the 5? You gotta choose. There's 2, bitch.
There's literally a item that you throw down, and it literally creates a fortress and a grenade. It just, boop, there's just a fortress there, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can go assault it, but they have prime position for attacking you. So I like the game, except I hate that base building mechanic, especially when someone's really good and they just kind of like do some weird like ramp building nonsense with it. I don't know. I'm probably showing.
Yeah, you're just like,
kids
that's when you know it's like, oh, time to disengage. I guess I'm just gonna run away from you.
Yeah, it's not for me. I'll keep playing it every so often, but I've been playing a lot of PUBG as well. Oh, a new game I've been playing, Octopath Traveler.
Oh, yeah, tell us about it.
I'm digging it. I'm digging the art style. It reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy VI. It's like
because it's kind of like an old school JRPG kind of vibe, right?
Yeah, it's very much an old school JRPG. It's to me it feels like a combination of Final Fantasy VI and Bravely Default. It's like those two games got together and had a baby. I am critical of that game because that game has way too much talking in it. Way too much. Like, if you look at my timer in the game, I have 6 hours in the game so far, so I haven't been playing it a lot. For those of you that have been playing Bravely Default, I only have I only have 3 characters so far. But hours and hours of that game is just spent, like, listening to chatter, and it's voice acted too, so you don't really feel like you can't really skip it.
Bravely Default is a long game.
Yeah, it is.
It's good, but it's so long.
Once you get past the chatter and you're just doing the exploring and the combat, it's great. I actually like it a lot, and I can't wait to dive more into it. Oh, there's only one game I'm looking forward to that's coming out. I went ahead and I made a promise to Mike. I said if Destiny 2 releases a collection to where I can get Forsaken and every other patch release or DLC upgrade at a decent price, I will buy it. So they came up with the Legacy Collection. So for $60, you get base game Destiny 2, the Osiris, whatever that is, Warmind, and Forsaken. And yeah, I said, all right, I'm in. $60. Let's do it. I'll go play me some Destiny 2.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Join our clan. We do raids.
As somebody who owns Destiny 2 and one of the expansions, Ray, you're going to get a better deal than I am.
Which is a shame.
I guarantee it right here, right now, because to play the Forsaken, you have to have both expansions. Currently, each expansion is $20. You can buy a collection of the two of them for $30. The Forsaken is $40. So, to play Forsaken, I need to buy $40 for that pass and $20 for the Warmind that I do not own. I don't know if you know what 40 and 20 equals, but that's $60. So basically, I'm going to have to buy Destiny 2 again, have an extra copy of Destiny 2 and Curse of Osiris so that I can play, the next big content update from Destiny, because, I didn't spend $20 on Warmind because I did not feel like they showed the value of that in the slightest or justified that cost. And maybe Forsaken is going to be worth $40, but god damn it.
I think Josh brings up a good point in that Destiny releasing a brand new $40 patch once every 3 to 4 months. I don't think that's cool.
This is the only expansion that Forsaken is the only one that's 40.
Okay, so the other ones are 20.
The other ones are 20.
Yes.
Or you could buy both of them for 30, I believe.
Can we honestly say that there's $20? There's 1/3 the price of Destiny 2 inside these updates.
Those are barely $5 patches.
Inside Warmind, I would say yes. I think with some of the longer tail stuff that they have in it, I think the Warmind campaign missions were a lot better than the Curse of Osiris ones. I think Curse of Osiris is definitely the weaker of the expansions. It just felt like that they have there's a lot of really cool art and design in the weapons and the raid layer they added for it, but it just feels like that they didn't do enough with that environment. And compared to what they do with Warmind, it feels like that there's more long-term objectives, which someone who plays a lot of Destiny like me really enjoys. Like there's a lot like the getting like the bringing back kind of like more long-term quests for weapons, like the Polaris Lance, the kind of hidden stuff to get the Sleeper, the kind of the really cool kind of end game level PvE Whisper quest, like which has some of like the coolest stuff. I think like the Whisper quest alone is like one of the coolest things that has been like one of the coolest levels that was in Destiny 2, period. So I think like they've been really kind of turning the ship around on a lot of that stuff. So for me, I think it was worth that. But again, I totally get the annoyance of the pricing on those expansions. But I think generally it Warmind especially, I think I would say is worth that price. Or at least it, and I play a lot of Destiny, and I feel like I hate it's stupid to talk about games this way, but like my dollar per hour enjoyment with Destiny is very high, so I don't mind. Those
and okay,
buying those passes is never at that price isn't too big of a deal, just because
my
really
problem with
enjoy
that
it
is
at
yes,
that, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Even as much as we've gotten enjoyment out of Destiny, and I have definitely earned my dollar per hour, buying lackluster content like that because you have to wait for them to put out something a little more meaningful does not incentivize the company to put more effort into making better content. Like, I'm sure Warmind does have some pretty good things, but a lot of what I saw, a lot of the things that I heard really turned me off to it and was like, man, I really don't want to spend $20 to get another small chunk of content like Curse of Osiris, have them reuse missions as the strikes and call that an update rather than trying to actually put some additional work into it, and just saying like, yeah, I'm getting my dollar's worth, but are you really? Because all you're doing is incentivizing them to continue to say our base is just gonna buy this because they want more of it. We don't have to make it good, we just have to make more. And I just personally, I'm sitting here as like, I'm not going to give them my $20 because I don't think that they are putting in the effort that a quasi sort of service based perpetual game like Destiny needs to keep it fresh.
I think to say they're not putting in the effort is unfair. I think that's unfair to the people who, as someone who's played through the Warmind stuff, I think that's unfair to the people who.
But aren't the only strikes they added in the Warmind?
Can I finish my point? I think you're being unfair to the people who designed those strikes and who designed. I mean, I think like some of the art and like level design of the campaign and design of the stuff in Warmind is some. I think it's some of my favorite stuff in Destiny 2. I think. I mean, I for me, I get really invested into I'm really into the lore of Destiny, and I think it does a lot of stuff. It kind of closes some cool, really interesting storylines and loops from the first game that were really interesting to see, and I think has some, especially with like the Whisper quest that just kind of dropped. I think it has some very interesting kind of foreshadowing for what we might see in the future expansions, and I think generally just because alongside with Warmind, they've also made like a lot of other changes to the game. Because I think. As someone who played a lot of Destiny 2, I really enjoyed Destiny 2. It was like my second favorite game last year. But there were some changes I think that needed to be made to that game. And alongside Warmind, I think that for me, that like one of my favorite things about like the Warmind expansion wasn't even something that was a part of that de facto. It was the exotic weapon changes and the exotic armor changes, and they did such. That's kind of what really gave me a lot of confidence in what Destiny has planned for Forsaken, and kind of I didn't really hold off. I held off pretty long on pre-ordering the Forsaken expansion, but the changes that they made to the exotic weapons, because there were just literally half of the exotic weapons in the game, which are, some of the most, for those who don't have played Destiny, are some of the most, you can only have one of them equipped out of your 3 weapon slots at a time. They're really they're supposed to be really special. And at launch and after Curse of Osiris, it felt like they weren't really that. So they took a lot of the ones that felt underpowered and did a really great job of kind of reworking them in really major ways that really not just buffed them, but for me made me oh, this opened up an entirely new way to play this game, an entirely new way to build this character. I can do a close range super high damage void loadout. I can do a crowd control void out with a graviton lance, and then use the tractor cannon, the vigilance wing, doing really cool changes for that, making the fighting lion actually a viable thing instead of the laughing stock, by moving it to the energy slot. So they did a lot of, I think they did a lot of really good work in those elements alongside of the Warmind expansion itself that really, I'm the Destiny fanboy of this podcast. It's not a secret. But it really made, and also just hearing them talk about the game and what they have planned for it, and feedback that they took from the community about making changes to Crucible and the feel of multiplayer. I guess I have a confidence that they know what changes, what positive changes need to be made to Destiny to help it get better. And that's kind of why I was okay with having, with getting Warmind and getting it Forsaken, because I just have I really enjoy the base game as it is, but I'm also really, I'm kind of buying into the vision based on what they've done so far as tweaks to the game, and what they have planned from there as far as making the game even better.
Real quick, Josh, before you retort, because I know you got to retort. I would say in this day and age, if Activision, one of the largest video game companies in the world, wants to start winning back hearts and minds, especially for the Destiny community, the simplest, and granted, it's gonna hurt them to do this, but it just makes the most sense in this day and age. The simplest thing to do is you release the base game and you pull an Overwatch and all your updates are free. Now, granted, Activision has a business model that proves we don't have to do that, so we're not going to. And obviously it's a different company, Bungie versus Blizzard, but I would say it would be way more palatable, and people would be way more understanding of their updates if they charged either a lot less money, because $20, $40, that's really high for
if you
DLC
just buy
update.
if you say started at the beginning, you bought the base game and you bought the expansion pass and you're buying the Forsaken and you're just buying the base versions of all of those, you're $130 in. And that's not if you buy any of the extras.
Okay,
you don't
Josh,
buy any of the premium currency that's available in the game.
But you also get to play it a year early. A year ahead of people buying Forsaken now. Does that not mean anything?
What?
Because I think it does. Well, because
when you're buying,
because there's an inherent difference between buying the Forsaken collection that includes all the old Destiny stuff at $60 this fall when that launches, versus buying into vanilla Destiny 2 when it launched and the expansions when they launched. There is that extra year of, like, literal year of playing Destiny is, like, does that not factor into the price equation at all for you?
No.
Are you talking about the price of Forsaken?
Because
well, let me ask you. Can I counter ask you this?
Be over double what somebody coming in at this point in time is going to be. They're going to get everything. They're going to be able to work through all the base game, the 2 previous content expansions, and the newest one for $60, whereas somebody who's from the beginning would have to at least put in $130 to play the complete Destiny experience.
But it's like the difference between buying like a new car.
So
and
here, let me ask you this question:
or going to see a movie in theaters versus like renting it at like.
Do you think
like,
that
do you not see the difference there?
Expansion content is worth more than the base game itself? More work went into the expansions. There is more content. There is more value in the expansions than there is in even the base game, because the additional content is going to cost more than the base game.
Haven't played Forsaken, so I can't tell you that.
At minimum,
I can't answer
$40,
that question
$50,
yet.
$70, $80 if you bought it piecemeal, for just the add-ons to the base game.
Sorry.
Like I said, I can't tell you that because I haven't played Forsaken.
We'll know in October.
I'm sure I will. Because I'm not sitting here saying I don't like Destiny. I very much do. I've played a lot of Destiny. I like Destiny. I want them to make good content. But it's really hard to sit here and say that the Curse of Osiris, I didn't play Destiny 1. I didn't have a console. It was impossible for me to do so. I'm very interested in the lore of Destiny. I've been constantly talking to you. I've flirted with going back and reading the grimoires and like trying to figure out everything that happened in Destiny 1 or watching playthroughs because I'm very fascinated in the world of Destiny. I love the lore. You're
hitting all the mic buttons right now.
The
good mic buttons.
Of Osiris because it didn't grab me. The strikes that they added were basic, and they even they wing to this. They're like, the strikes are just levels from the campaign that they said, actually, you're just going to keep running this as the strike. We're not going to do any additional work. We're just going to throw in a couple voice lines and say, haven't we done this before? Wink, wink, wink.
So to be fair, I know a lot of the Destiny 2 community was pissed off about Curse of Osiris having like strikes replaced with missions. I'm gonna be that guy that comes out of nowhere, the Destiny 1 bit that reminds people Destiny 1 did the same thing. Just reminded
I also like it's
not cool.
I think that's like I guess like I'm okay, especially for like Warmind, because they reuse some of the like the 2 kind of boss focused missions as strikes. But I'm honestly okay with that because those are really good missions, and for those to kind of for those to not be used it's nice to like replay those missions that are really cool as things that could help me like do my weekly milestones. Like that's what I like, because I mean, as someone who frequents the Destiny subreddit, like one complaint I see is people honestly like not really having a reason or an ability to go back and play story missions. So for a lot of the community, there is a desire to have access to their favorite missions from the campaign as things that can contribute to those weekly milestones. And I think that's like I get that. I think that's a legit criticism, is that it feels like that they're not putting in the work, but
yeah,
they are, because those are really well designed and fun missions. I like the Warmind ones better than the Curse of Osiris ones, personally. But I think for myself, I don't mind replaying those missions because I think they're really well designed and really cool encounters, and it helps me just continue with like the larger meta game of increasing my character level for end game stuff like trials and the raids and stuff.
Okay, that seems like a fair counter. I mean, I'm eager to just hop back into
I will
Destiny 2
probably
once
buy
everything's
Forsaken, but I'm not going to be happy about the way they make me do it, and I'll probably passive it. I'll
spend the money, but I won't be happy spending the money
at Activision and Bungie, and just be like, "Yo, you."
I mean, so dang, I have to bleep that out now too.
If they don't give me,
I'm excited to get back into Destiny just because it's been so long.
If I buy that bundle and they don't actually give me a copy of Destiny 2 and Curse of Osiris that I can gift to somebody too, I'm gonna be real pissed off.
So you know that's not going to happen.
It very well better. It very well better. Because as the frugal man that I am, I'm obviously not going to go spend $60 on 2 things when I could spend $60 on 4 things.
Didn't you monetize a clicker game?
Again, this is also the part where I apologize for gifting you Curse of Osiris, because I didn't realize I would put you in this
You really put me in quite the pickle there, Mike. Who knew that your generous gesture
now you have to gift him more mine.
Cause so much mental anguish for me. Again, Mike, I know you're mad at me. I like Destiny. I just think they've made some really, really messed up business decisions that I disagree with, and I'm struggling with my enjoyment of the game versus rewarding their poor business decisions. For God's sake, they put bulk shader deletion as one of their major milestones in their multi-year plan, and that's absolutely absurd. That should have been their day 2.
I'm not wrong.
Mad at you. I just disagree with you. There's a difference. Also, I'm correct, so it's fine.
I did look at the roadmap for Destiny 2 because they did what I call a video game business no-no in its release roadmap because, okay, realistically, you never want to do that because then your community holds your feet strong to the fire. And the moment you mess up any part of that roadmap, you've just given Reddit all the ammo they need to just say, "Here we go again!"
All the anime abbeys just fill your mentions. Just like, oh no, here we go. I think that with that was like, it was pretty cool. I was pretty happy when they put that out, and they've also been pretty honest. It's like, hey, you know, these are things that we're pretty sure are going to be in this update. These are things that might slip back. So this is subject to change. Like they put out the roadmap, but we're also pretty clear that this is subject to change. So we are going to try to hit these goals as close as we can, but just be advised that some of these things may change. So just a heads up.
Okay, as long as they put a bunch of precursors
yes
to that statement.
Also, I have another news story if we want to change topics from Destiny that we very urgently need to discuss.
Please. Is this about Elon Musk?
Everybody's favorite South African rescue hero of the Thai cave rescue, who bravely called one of the other Thai cave rescuers a pedophile for no reason. Elon Musk.
Why? He seriously did that?
Yes, he did. He did that. God. He really did that.
Why did he do that?
Because he's a bad person.
Why did he call... No, seriously, why did he call someone like that a pedophile? Was he a pedophile?
No, he's not. It's just because Elon Musk is in the head, okay? That's all you have to know.
I am
for this
actually
important
taken aback.
Gaming story. Because today... Literally, this is hot off the presses, folks. 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Elon Musk. If you're into video game development, consider applying to Tesla. We want to make super fun games that integrate the center touchscreen, phone and car IRL. Please send examples of prior work when applying. Look for max playability and creativity. Guys, we're putting video games on the car touchscreen. What
why
game
would
are we
you
putting
do
there?
that?
What game are we putting there, and why is it Mario Paint?
I mean, obviously the correct answer would be Super Mario Maker.
I have so many issues with everything that you just said, from the pedophile comment to the video game on the Tesla touchscreen. There's so many things wrong with everything in between as well. Like,
hey, it's not. Yeah, don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame Daddy Elon here.
I mean, I like the man.
Also,
but
just for clarification, at Sad Cookie Crisp replies, Pokemon Go for Tesla? Question mark, question mark. Elon replies, something like that, but more of an adults in cars anime vibe. I think that means he just wants playable. He just wants playable novels. I think I think he just wants novels.
He wants visual novels.
I think he just wants visual novels on your heads-up display in your Tesla.
I'm all right with that.
Like this is
not. You should be driving.
Also, this is an important gaming story. These things are very important. We need to really help Elon figure out what is the best game that he should put in his Tesla. Also, sidebar here, Player Unknown replies, I think Top Trump style card games for Teslas stuck together in traffic could be cool. Someone at Charlin Hogma replies, maybe Tesla is the only way to optimize PUBG. Which is true, because that game runs like garbage.
Ooh.
It runs bad.
It's gotten better.
Everyone's favorite Joff Keeley says, can't wait for Tesla's first The Game Awards nomination. Please, this isn't so much of a news story as it is just me going through Twitter hell, because in case you didn't know, folks, it's real bad out here. So good job, Jeff.
Should the Dorito Pope really have anything to say on this matter? Seriously? I haven't forgotten Jeff Keighley. I will never forget. Ever.
At Jackbox Games. How about some comedic party games where passengers use their mobile devices as controllers? You don't know Jack, Tesla has a nice ring to it. No, it doesn't. That's actually fucking...
Actually...
Okay, I kind of like that.
Hold on, back up. That's not the worst idea I ever heard. Yeah, I'm kind of digging it. Like, if the passenger was playing and everyone in the back seat had cell phones, I'm really kind of into this idea a lot.
What if everybody on your highway, was in on the everybody driving down 75 was in the same game, and you could just all link up through that, nope, I'm in. I'm on it. I'm on board with this.
I don't hate this idea.
Okay.
All right. Jackbox gets a contract.
But here's the real question, guys. If you can game in your Tesla as you're driving to your 12-hour-a-day crushing union-free job,
go on.
I wonder
how are you going to stream?
I spent on.
Because what is gaming without streaming? Like, when you play video games and you're not creating content, it's just a waste of... It's just human waste. You need to be creating and monetizing all elements of your lifestyle, including playing video games while you're driving.
That's why Teslas are going to be 5G. So you have the upstream bandwidth to Twitch...
If you clap one more time while you talk, I'm cutting you off.
5G bandwidth upstream.
We're done. Mike, close us out.
No.
That's it. We're done.
Okay, wait. What? You have
they drop
100
in on an island.
Teslas on a freeway.
Okay.
They are all tagged, and you have to go and call the other. The last person who isn't called a pedophile wins.
We're done.
There's been a lot of other shit popping off in gaming news here, but this just happened today, and I think Elon Musk is a super dork who needs to be hooted at into doing not garbage things. So we're here to hoot and holler at him. Distracted driving is bad driving.
I mean, let's be honest. Obviously,
it's not been the best 3 days
to have entertainment while your car is in self-driving mode. He's not saying you need to be playing the game while you're actually actively driving. At least I hope.
What would be like? What is the? I'm trying to think of like what would be like the most average. Now, if it only if it can okay.
Like a match 3 game, like
Candy Crush. It can only play Assassin's Creed 1.
Wow, the first one?
The first one.
We're done. We're done. This podcast is. I'm ending it.
That should be in the Tesla, and this is one that you can play while driving. Tap Tycoon.
Okay, Okay, I think I know what it is too. I think I know it. Okay, we'll say it on 3. Okay, 1,
Tap
2,
Tycoon.
3. F-Zero. God damn it.
No,
Mike wins.
You can drive one-handed. You can get.
I mean, Mike's idea will get you into more crashes.
On a touchscreen that size, you can get all 5 fingers tapping. You can just make all the money.
No, wait. But then it like for safe mode, instead of tapping on the screen, you just honk your horn.
That's how you start the war. Beep,
you just
beep.
honk your horn.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Unscripted Gaming. Josh,
you can find us all
tell us
over
where
the
they
internet.
can
You
find
can find
us
us at YouTube at Unscripted Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at Unscripted Gaming. You can find us on Twitter at Unscript_gaming. Make sure you
or at Elon Musk.
Stop!
Okay,
Gamers,
I'm
rise
tweeting,
up.
just so you know, real quick, so you can hear about some of our hashtag content. I'm going to tweet at Elon Musk here from the official Unscripted Gaming Twitter, asking him if they want a,
that's a good idea,
gaming-themed talk show to be played live on that, so we can get featured on the Tesla touchscreen. So, check us out in 2020 in your Tesla Model X, 3, or S. If you're not wanting to check us out or interact with us on Facebook or Twitter, you can also find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Apple Music, Google Play, Podcasts, wherever you can get podcasts. You can get us in your earballs. Just get us there. Comment on our stuff on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. Let us know what you think. Ask a question. We'll answer it here, live on the air, recorded.
I think by 2025, Tesla touchscreens are going to be the only place anybody can vote. So that's honestly probably a good call to try and get some real estate.
Thank you for listening to Unscripted Gaming. My name is Josh.
My name is Ray.
My name is Elon Musk.
I knew it! I knew it! You couldn't resist!
What's peace in South African? Peace.